Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Justice for All. Last time out, we did a bit of investigating and learned, well, not really much about what we needed to, because we needed to figure out how did Max, or whoever it was who was in a cloak, float up. And we didn't strictly get an answer to that. Rather, what we did was learn about a case about 9 months ago with a lion eating an acrobat's head. I guess. Completely relevant. Anyway, that's what we learned, so hopefully that's going to arm us in court. We'll just turn that down a little bit. Yeah, that's about right.
Good morning, Max.
Oh yes, good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like like your usual sparkling self today. Well, if I'm gonna screw up, may as well screw up at the start. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up for it.
Tee-hee. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina!
How fabulous, my sweetie pie princess. You came to watch my performance today?
Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this.
Mo said that?
So what kind of performance will you have put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end?
It's not that kind of show, isn't that right, my sweeties?
Huh?
I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't... Yes, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is.
Well, Max, looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience.
Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there.
Good luck, Max. You're the best.
Oh, poor Regina.
Regina's different, don't you think, Nick?
Oh, great, Mo's voice. Brilliant. Oh, and the bitrate's dying as well. Oh well, it's all going to hell in a handbasket round here. What voice did I give him? The, top of the morning to you. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck into some legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo. Top of the morning to you, governor. Top of the morning? I'm not putting on the Irish accent. You can't pay me. That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with the energy in the morning. Agreed. Sorry. I get my words out normally now. Brilliant. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Huh? Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. No, never mind. Oh yeah, it's the country accent I put on for him. But anyway, he's not doing that anymore, so... Oh my, thanks. So, how are you today, Mr. Wright? Well, I've got a feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro?
Huh? You think he did it?
Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line, literally. To be fair, that actually does make sense. You'd think an acrobat would be a gambler. Just because of the, Evel Knievel risk-reward style of life. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can over witnesses.
What are you gonna do then, Nick?
Guess today we're just gonna have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today, we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth.
You're right. It's gonna be tough.
Anyways, I want you to make sure Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father.
You want us to make sure Regina watches?
Yep, that's why I brought her to the court today. Probably should not be doing the clown voice and more like I don't know. I don't know why it just came in like a, hey, Vinny. You know, this little talking man. He's got a little like a gritty, like a gravelly voice when he talks normal. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. And I'm assuming into the courtroom we go. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Well, very well, Miss Von Karma. You may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What's the meaning of this? We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly from the crime scene. Well, that is certainly a eyewitness. Order. I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Oh, gumshoe. I mean, it's sort of the detective's job to work out that, not the prosecutor. I don't really know. I don't know how legal stuff works. To me, the detectives are the one who works out, who just do like the tailgating, in terms of they do all the tracking down, working out how stuff works, and then the prosecutor's the one who essentially puts it all into a legal manner, and then charges the bloke or lady with the crime at hand. Very well, please call your witness to the stand. Are we going straight to Acro? Time to get to work. Or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Yep, we are. Name and occupation. I can't remember why. I gave him a very calm voice, and a very placid one. Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Very Big Circus. And where were you at the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. So, do I get punished if I press, or do I get nothing out of it if I press? I guess we're gonna find out soon. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. About that time, I heard a large thump noise from the outside of the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming.
This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown.
Again, I really should make a cock up counter in terms of how many times I screw up speaking the lines. I assume we're in the hundreds already by this time this'll get released. Anyway,
If that's the case, then there's very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night.
bingo. Nope, okay. Not even a slam of the table. But before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness.
A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend Miles Edgeworth did.
Your Honor, this woman's raising up the stepping on the dead. Punch her in the face. Reprimand her.
Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony?
In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened.
Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination.
Again, let's start the press game. You said that you were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct?
That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright, sometimes it can make it hard to sleep.
I agree. I have a light outside my window where I live, and I bought specific like blackout curtains, like they're just like thick blackout curtains, just so none of the light gets in. So when it's dark, all like it's good in one way because I prefer it to be pitch black when I'm sleeping or trying to get to sleep. Therefore, I'm left with my thoughts and I can't really get distracted. But yeah, I understand. I understand his plight.
It's so bright it sometimes makes it hard to sleep.
If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains?
Well, Judge, I'm paralyzed. You close my curtains. Play the wheelchair card.
I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains.
Sometimes I do might make myself useful in these chambers. Oh,
The witness will proceed with his testimony.
And he had a thump. The room is on the 3rd floor, correct?
Yes?
And you said that you were resting in bed.
That is correct.
But you were still able to hear a sound from outside?
I was indeed.
Pressing Acro doesn't seem to get results. And maybe something was contradictory in what you just said now. I'll hold off at this point.
what's the matter, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honor. I find a clear contradiction. I should tread lightly. Yeah, that whip on hers seems particularly annoying. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying by right by my window. Press. There we go. First table slam of the day. Wasn't a proper table slam, but it's not in contradiction to something when he's confident, but I'll allow it. Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure.
Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, as if it were there with you that night. I believe it was a human.
Damn. It strengthened his testimony. I wonder if Acro's statement jives with the facts.
What's the matter, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honor. Yep, till I can find a contradiction, I could tread lightly. Max Galactica. I saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. The light in your room was turned off, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front.
Did you see any other symbols?
I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the more less results I seem to get. Maybe there was something fishy with that latest bit of testimony. Hold off, Phoenix. Hold off. Oh, take my first drink of the day. When did you start thinking that what you saw wasn't a dream? That's not important. I believe it is. I believe that the prosecution has done a bit of maintenance on the witness's memory.
Just to make sure, let's ask the witness.
Oh. Objection.
Sustained.
Don't sustain that. Acro must be lying about what he saw, right? Well, of course he is. Now the challenge will be to expose his lies in court. Well, put the pedal to the metal, Nick. Okay. Put up our shut up time. I can imagine him having a loud thump outside his window. A few months later, I realized someone was flying right by my window. Okay, fair enough. And then Max Galactica, but I only saw from behind who he looks like. Is it because he saw a silhouette? How did he know it was from behind? That's the only thing I can think of at this moment. You said there's only a silhouette outside my window. If it's a silhouette, how could he see the white roses anyway? There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that the witness has just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence.
She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction?
Trying to think of what would be the best thing to choose from, you know? Because if he saw the white roses, because he says he saw the. He says he saw the stuff, so it depends on what I want to choose. Because he said he saw the silk hat and the cloak, but not his white roses, and he only saw Max's back. It has to be something to do with Max, clearly. Nothing here seems to make sense. The hat? Wait. Found at the crime scene. Because he was found at the crime scene, he couldn't have had it on him. Oh, I panicked then because the music didn't cut out immediately. I thought I'd screwed up. Okay, wait, did I screw up? Because my music's gone silent, so I might be right, I might be wrong. Did I? Didn't I? Let's find out. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that?
What do you mean?
The silk hat.
What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window.
Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. Yes, Phoenix. Ask the cripple who is paralyzed beneath the waist to look over and out of his window while he's asleep. Very insensitive, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Extremely insensitive.
That would have been quite difficult considering the state I'm in.
See? Phoenix, don't be so ableist. You bigot.
Just looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me.
Well, that is a shame because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the crime scene.
That's the ringmaster's hat, right?
Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? You're saying that Max has 2 silk hats?
No. This is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, you telling me some boo, boy? Oh, well, in his case, they've been fibbing on the stand.
Don't lie to this court, boy. Order.
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. You okay, Nick?
Well, I opened my big mouth, and now I have to get it, and now I have to back it up.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in court today?
Well, if we're going off what Phoenix said, he's the real culprit. Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself.
On this occasion?
Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of?
Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Just because he's in a wheelchair doesn't mean he can't kill. Maybe he's not so ableist. You can do anything, even if you were disadvantaged, even kill people.
Mr. Wright, are you serious?
Deadly serious, Your Honor. Oh, she looks kind of. I don't know what it is. When it's the head-on shot for some reason, Francisca doesn't look real. She doesn't look cute. But when she's like this, or when she has the hand-up shot, when she's like in an argument with Phoenix, she's actually quite the looker.
I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned that how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by the theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness.
Well, exactly. Well, if I got accused of murder, I wouldn't be calm. I'd be angry, personally. Or in the fact that anyone was taking it seriously.
He's calm enough for it to almost be scary.
Well, exactly. That's the point. He did it. He's extremely calm. He's a murderer. He basically called my case into question. Oof. He's staying rather calm and collected.
Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation?
I really don't need to say a thing, do I?
What do you mean?
Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house.
You go to see your brother every day. Don't give me this absolute crud. This absolute lie that you can't leave the lodging house. You go to see your brother at the hospital. Just stop lying.
And that is true.
I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do so by accusing me of a murder of all things. Don't. See? Even a sliver of common sense makes it clear that this accusation is ludicrous. She's right. Way to pick on the disabled. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man. Beings is a poopy head. Damn, the laying on the insults thick and fast here. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum up support for your peanut gallery, then that's how you do it. Ah. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well? I hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice.
What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice?
I don't think he did. Or are we counting money in terms of an accomplice? Don't think he did. Now then, this must be when we hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one.
What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright?
There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself.
Oh no. What are you getting at?
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Oh no, I don't know how we feel. How do we feel about the art style with the eyes over the hair? I'm not a big fan of it personally. Just because of that's not how physics works. It always looks weird to me personally. Now, I'm gonna have to prove that how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russellberry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop, if I stop attacking, I'm doomed. Exactly, Nick. The best form of defense is offense. All right then, let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was being committed, where exactly was Mr. Dingling?
In his room. It's the only place he could have been. Well, he couldn't, well, according to them, he couldn't leave his room, so he must have obviously been there. He was obviously here at the entire time.
But that's Acro's room?
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. I mean, you could always do that trick that I've seen people do it when they go downstairs on a wheelchair. It's very impressive the amount of balance it takes to do that. I couldn't. I'd fall back and crack my head open on the stairs. Either that or fall forward and fall out the chair. It's not out of the question he could do it. He is an acrobat. Balance is something that is needed for that. And strong arms. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts?
What say you, Mr. Dingling?
Nothing? It is an interesting theory. That's it? Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, it is. Got some pain in my chest. Don't worry, it's on my right hand side, not my left. Not having a heart attack. Oh, well, you never know. This could be fun if I do have an heart attack. It'd be very interesting.
Hmm, Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. And he is in a wheelchair. There is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
You've got a point.
It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true.
No, not him, though.
Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he?
But Maya, it's impossible for humans to fly through the air.
Do you mind if I answer that question, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
What is it?
I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume.
How did he do it? That's the next course on this legal buffet.
Be careful, Nick, if you mess up here.
She's right. Can't mess up here. I've got to give this some serious thought. Okay, guys, get on your thinking caps. Serious hats as well while we're at it. We'll have to double stack our hats. And we're gonna work out how Acro killed the ringmaster. I'm sure he killed the ringmaster. I'm sure he did it while he was in this room. No doubt about it.
Time to enlighten us how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright.
I have a look through this court record. I don't believe I have a murder weapon. The only thing that could, if it's one strong hit on the head, it'll have to been this, as in the wooden box. Because we didn't see, or in all the testimony, we didn't see that he was carrying a wooden box at the time when he left Max and took his clothes, or when Trillo saw him, correct? I think the wooden box should be correct in terms of, I'll try the wooden box. I'm gonna present some evidence.
What did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime against Russell Berry?
It's the only thing that doesn't really make sense. Oh, I think I screwed up.
I think you should try again, especially before someone gets the chance to say something.
Really? Yeah, you're probably right. So, as I was saying, this piece of evidence.
Stop, wait, I say, before you start over, you must be penalized.
Right, okay.
You put an end to any funny business, I've got a few more ideas.
Okay, I am going to present evidence. What could hit him so hard? Oh. Oh, wait a minute. The bust? 'Cause it was in Acro's room, wasn't it? I feel like it was. Wait, was it? I can't remember. The bust is big enough to do it, and it was missing. Well, I'll take getting it right the second time.
What's that, a picture?
Is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture.
The bust?
It is quite a large bust, because it is life-sized. It is also very, very heavy.
Heavy?
Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Hmm. See? This is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. You know, if a man has an ample bust, he may as well use it.
Hold on. So, you're saying the bust fell onto the ringmaster?
Rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy for you to commit.
How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible.
Well, Acro is an acrobat. His upper strength is quite exceptional. Or, in Phoenix's words, he should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust.
Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges?
Well, Acro is at a loss for words.
He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, Acro. You can't run away. Ow!
I'd watch what you say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get a proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
Von Karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for such testimony. There we go. That's where she's at her prettiest. Look at those eyes. Just you know, sometimes I just pause and have to take a glass. And I have to take a glance.
The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has its right to respond.
Defense's objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way once in a while?
Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but you will need to testify about your physical condition. Have any doubts about your ability to testify? We can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems, however. Let's all be respectful towards him.
Thank you. This woman will sink to any low to win a case. Well, to be fair, like I said last time, it's not too far from the truth. Prosecutors do get paid for convicting. You know, if put it this way, if every case that you found out that was or if you find the truth in every case that they prosecute, and it turns out the person you found out continuously was innocent, like say a string of 10 cases and you win none of them, does that, that would look like you're a bad prosecutor, even though the right result happened. Law's always a weird thing.
I suppose I could have lifted something that size out of that bust. I have strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop a bust on him, don't you think?
Yes, but I also have a problem with it in terms of if you are going to do it, you'd have to line him up to be in a certain place at an exact time.
I have no doubts about in regards to this witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could have not known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination.
He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really.
Oh, I can't let it get... I can't let it get to me. Gotta focus. Press everything! Have you ever lifted up the bust before, perchance?
No, I've never actually lifted it with my own 2 hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this.
Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Mac's bust before? Interesting. Sorry, just money might have lifted it from Max's, from the kitchen.
Continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling.
So, what have you been doing to keep in shape? Maybe I can use your exercise routine.
Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope.
You don't say.
Oh, but no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything. Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
I won't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick. How did the discussion turn to me all of a sudden?
I suppose you could say I'm stronger than the average bear.
Well, a bear would eat your face off. Because, you know, you can't run away from a bear. Bears are terrifying. I was watching Pocahontas a couple days ago with my niece and nephew. Because they've been round because of the summer holidays. And it's just watching it, and I was just because there's a song in Pocahontas where they like she's showing John Smith the bear, and like he puts the gun up to it, and then it doesn't attack, and then the cubs are nearby, and all I was thinking in the back of my mind was like, if them cubs are that close, both of those people would be dead. If you've ever seen a bear will tear your absolute face off. Like, because they're very defensive about. Well, you would be, wouldn't you, for your kid to protect your children? But you know, bears are very scary, deceptively quick at animals, and they're massive and they're strong, especially when they go on their hind legs. And why is that?
Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet.
So you couldn't have thrown the bust out of the window?
Okay, and so the only way I'm thinking of this, if he had to have gotten some way to get Russell Berry there, if that makes sense. How long do you think your recovery will take?
You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation. But it's going to take a while before I'm back to 100%.
Well, with nerve damage in your spine, or well, it really depends where. Any serious nerve damage is going to take, well, years to even get back to any modicum of what you'd be like. If it depends where it is. If it's nerve damage in the spine, potentially he'd be in that chair for the rest of his life.
Let me remind you of another very important fact. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would have not been able to see below the window.
Why do you say it would have been impossible?
Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, therefore, there is no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head.
Well, I suppose that you've got a point.
Hey, Nick.
Huh? What?
What if you turn things around? Like maybe you think of it sort of like, if he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust.
That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow. That's what I've been saying. He must have knew the location of his head, or where he was going to be at that time. That Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down.
I think I've already explained things sufficiently.
If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all.
If all I had to do was drop it, you're right. I could have done that. However, there is no way that I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head.
So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Acro is strong enough to lift the bust.
The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head.
A mirror. No. I wonder if there's some type of tool he used to aim for the ringmaster.
That's a ticket, Nick. You've shown what you got.
I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfectly within the case.
I don't remember seeing anything of any sort of tool. Maybe we overlooked something.
I think it's this we're gonna press, and it's... No. 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 Money is an interesting one. Money may potentially give him an up, but there's no evidence suggesting that. This is the only thing that makes sense to me. Damn it. The evidence clearly contradicts the statement, Your Honor. Never mind. Don't think that won me any points. The only other thing I can think of is money out of the present evidence. You couldn't have known where he was apart from that. Because that's how he got him there. Like it says, meet me in the lodging plaza. Is interesting. I don't know. There's nothing that really makes sense here. None of this here. Only money and punched over the £20 box as a small but strong lot. How would he know? He'd have to have it on like a pulley system, I guess. Something like that, or am I overthinking it? I think I'm overthinking it way too much. The only other thing I can think of is he could have used money, or potentially the box, if that makes sense. So the only other two things that would make sense in my head. I do believe this is the statement to criticize him on, because the only thing that makes sense in terms of being able to criticize him. He needs to know when the ringmaster was therefore it would make sense that he knows when to do it. The evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in your statement, Your Honor. Nope. Well, money didn't help him at least. We can say the monkey is off scot-free. I still think the note makes sense. The only other thing I can think of is the box. And hear me out because it sounds stupid, and even in my head, but it might be right. Like I said before, the box was not with him when Trillo saw him. Therefore, the box had to be there at some point after he went into the lodging house, because Trillo didn't see the box. So therefore, the box was there. The box was there when it happened. So the box maybe is the only other thing I can think of? By process of elimination? Okay. I don't know how, but okay. Acro? You didn't really lean out of the window, did you? That's what I would have said. He wouldn't have leaned out the window. He would have used like a pulley or something like that. You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. I said this, but because of one reason. Oh wait, no, that would make sense because the box would have been there beforehand because of the note. I think the note should have counted as to where he could have put it. Because the box told you to go to the plaza. I'll say the note told you to go to the plaza. That makes a hell of a lot more sense than the wooden box. Quite precisely, I may add.
Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence?
But I did such a good job at hinting.
Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. The wooden box that the victim was found hunched over.
The key victim, the stuff there, I forgot the line and it was meant for the judge and not Phoenix. I do apologize.
The same. We're just gonna move on as if it never happened. Question is, who placed the wooden box there?
Who?
Ben and company saw the ringmaster and they didn't see him holding a box. Which means this wooden box was already placed at the crime scene.
I'd have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bust came falling down was the exact moment of the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear.
You.
Ow. My ears. This is what I mean. I've been saying about this every single time. I don't know whether it's because I go to whatever happens. I think what happens is well, for people who don't know, sometimes because my internet connection's not brilliant, when we get disconnected, it usually blurts system sounds in my ears. The problem with that is the fact that for some reason, whenever I don't know why it resets, because I usually set it to like 5 or 10, so you guys hear it, I don't. So I hear it, sorry, and you don't. But for some reason, it resets to back to 100, and it does not notify me of this. It does not tell me when it resets. It just happens. So then what happens is I get 100 is a full blast of do Windows sounds blasted into my ear holes. It's like, the sudden sound you're not expecting, like a jump scare. I'm getting jump scared by, my computer. It's not fun. Also, sometimes it's loud enough, it picks up on the microphone, which is not fun. But anyway, enough of my being, jump scared by system sounds.
You mean?
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
There'll be no way that it would miss the head of the victim. Quite a smart way of thinking that. I guess my logic makes sense the other way around. In terms of, I would have shown the note, gone, he had to have been in the plaza at this time. And then would have said, and then probably someone would have pointed out, well, okay, if they would have been, how can you prove that she would have been at this area at this time in the exact moment? I would have gone, okay, and it have to have been the box. And see, my thinking's right. It's just the wrong way around.
No.
oh, it is unbelievable.
Finally, some of those loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Oh, I just gotta keep going. There's only one way to go from here. Forward.
So the next question I have is, who placed the box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow!
Allow me to whip some sense into you, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Ow! Can you stop that?
The ringmaster's head... The ringmaster's head could not have been anywhere near where he lifted the box.
That's why the box was so specifically made. It's all specially made. Synonyms. Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. It can't have been the size. What's so peculiar about said box? Punched over this 20-pound box. The most peculiar feature is the contents of the box. Do you recall what was inside the wooden box?
There was only a small bottle of pepper, wasn't there?
Get on with it.
Well,
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
I don't see any relationship between the location of the head and the box's contents.
oh, sorry. I didn't mean we were linking up. I got ahead of myself. Never mind. I think I might have myself. I thought myself there.
Yo, Nick. No, Nick, you didn't think enough.
Mr. Wright, you still maintain the box had some sort of special feature.
Indeed. Most peculiar feature. Yeah, okay, and it has to be the weight then, because they're saying 20-pound box. Why is it 20 pounds specifically? The box had a remarkable weight.
Wait.
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this box would have required...
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift with their body.
What'd you say? No, you lift with the legs. If you're going to, like... Pro tip, lift with the legs, not the back. That's how you throw your back out and you end up, having back problems by the time you're my age. Oh, well, not my age. Probably about 50. And what I meant to say was, I'm probably going to be developing back problems sooner because I sit in a chair for a suspended amount of time. Therefore, my back's going to be screwed up, which is why I always try to stretch while I'm in there so I don't screw my back up.
One would have to squat down and lift it up with their body, wouldn't you say?
That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large.
The box also is carrying handles on either side, doesn't it?
That is correct. To lift up the box, you would have to squat down. Which means, no matter where you are, your head would be approximately in the same place. Yeah. Because, yeah, if you're unsuspecting, yeah, you put your head over... You'd put your head over the handles. Or at least you hold the handles and then lift with your legs upwards, pushing yourself back to lift it up, I guess. I don't know.
Fool.
He's not giving anything away, is he?
Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you had to say.
Hmm.
I must admit I'm shocked at your imaginative skills.
Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza?
Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I never could have done what he's proposing.
Uh, come again?
Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust?
In the cafeteria, correct? Yeah, of course I remember. It was on the top of the table in the cafeteria.
Then what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself.
Ah, that means...
You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well be able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room?
He does raise a good point, actually. Something I haven't figured out yet.
You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice.
Ah. I did say there's no Well, I said there might have been.
Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria.
We definitely have a problem here. This is no place to get perplexed. Gotta get my wits about me and prove things happened once and for all.
Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria to his room?
The only way I can think of this evidence that's here is either in the box, well, there's no proof the box did that, or money. Which is a lot more easier explanation. And correct, apparently.
A monkey?
Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size.
Oh, like how he stole that ventriloquist ring?
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust?
Of course, he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own accord, and then brought it back home.
Oh?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Well, it's still got a shimmer to it. Maybe you should put that whip down sometimes and read the court record. My,
Those are some very nice cards he's holding.
yeah, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny and very expensive, be it the actual metal or the game. Believe me, I am so glad that I got Pokemon Platinum when it came out as a kid. I don't know how much it cost. I think I got it as a Christmas present, so I couldn't tell you how much it cost, but if you look at the prices now for Pokemon games, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm so thankful that I was able to get the Pokemon games at the time that I did when I was younger, just because if I was gonna have to go back through, like, for example, I bought Black and Black 2 within the last 6 months. I've not played it yet, but I plan to at some point when I have some free time and don't have any other games to play, and I just have I have a niche for wanting to play a Pokemon game. I'll have an interest in playing a Pokemon game. that game, like prices, whether it'll be on eBay or you know some other outlet that has old games. Like in over here we have CX. I don't know what they'd have over in America. I'm not clued in on shops over there, but any equivalent of that, they seem to just cost an arm and a leg to get some of these older games. It's one of those again where I always say I hope that people who run games companies put these games on newer systems, just because otherwise you're stopping people from wanting to play a game that they want to play. You're pricing them out because they can't get it unless it's a very simple way, or in a very particular way. And that's why I said I'm thankful for the eShop. I'm thankful for the Nintendo Switch Online, giving people the opportunity to play these games for a cheaper value than just going out and buying the game, because you know it's not just buying the game for certain things. If you wanted to play something like, I don't know, what's a game, like say I wanted to play Pokemon Stadium, I would have to buy an N64 and then I would have to buy the game. I'm assuming both would cost me, you know, spitballing close to 3 figures, if not over. Because the N64s are, you know, no longer in commission, and you can't, and, you know, it's an old console at this point. It's over, what, 20 years old now? So, you know, the number of N64 is not going, or N64s are not going to increase. The same with Pokemon Stadium games. But yeah, they do cost an arm and a leg, some games. I'm so glad I got a lot of the Pokemon games when I did though, like when on release. Or just after they released, like 6 months to a year after, when the prices shot down considerably. Anyway, enough of me rambling on about the games industry and how I think people how I think they're gouging us for money. All of us, by the way. Let me just take off that. Sorry, something with the stream. Gah! Acro? Money is a strong monkey, right? Be easy for him to bring that bus back to your room. He said it himself in the press statement when I pressed him. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Hold there. I said hold there. Miss Von Karma? Where is this bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon.
Wait. When you mean this bust, was the murder weapon purely by accident?
It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. I don't think the bust was just accidental. It looks like Max. He wanted to frame Max. Let's face you know. I was gonna say let's face the facts, and I would have been accidentally rhyming there, and I refused to. Oh, and I didn't even know it. But that's for me. I think he chose the Max bust. I don't think he asked Monkey for it deliberately, but I think he definitely chose it to fit his, you know, to frame someone. So if people see Max, or people see or perceive Max to be there, they're gonna look at Max and not Acro, aren't they? Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer.
Moron.
One of my favorite insults.
Mr. Wright's argument is so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Even if it's, with 17 different locking up of holes and pitfalls along the way. It can hold water. It's like the ship in the Odyssey. I think it's the Odyssey where it's one of the things if like where the ship gets rebuilt over and over and over again until it works and doesn't take on any more water. It basically it works as a boat, but they basically say I think isn't it don't they replace every part of that boat in the Odyssey because that's where the thing comes from. If you replace every single part of that boat, um, does it count as the same boat or is it a different boat?
Don't seem so flamboozled.
That's a new word on me.
Especially by this fraud of an attorney.
Fraud? I did pass the bar, you know.
You must have forgotten the most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
And that is...
You should know. You forgot that fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime.
Ah!
There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That is true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick, don't let her beat you now.
I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around.
When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer me this, and only this, Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer that the clown saw?
It has to be the bust, right? It can only be the bust because the bust is the only thing that makes sense. Who was the murderer the clown saw? If it's it has to be the bust. It has to be because the bust is the only thing with the top hat on, right? Yeah.
He saw my... Ow! I asked who was the other person on the scene. The evidence has nothing to do with that question.
Oh, I beg to differ, Miss Von Karma. Au contraire, mon frère. Ah, I like a little bit of French. I did do French at high school. I passed it, but barely. Au contraire, mon frère. Frère means my father? I don't know, I can't remember. I know Ami is friend. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Who said that he saw Max's silhouette? But he did not actually see Max, the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. We're turning about the case, the music's picking up.
How is that possible?
Simple, really. What Mo actually saw on that night was Max's bust. Max's bust seems to go around a lot, doesn't it?
What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak.
True. There was no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one of these cards in the bust on his hands, in the bust's hands.
Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust?
It doesn't matter who put it on the bust.
Well, just wait a minute now, Phoenix Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree?
He caught me.
Well, let's have it, Mr. Wright.
Well, we're backed into a corner now, aren't we?
Who put the bust on the cloak?
Right, so it either had to be Acro, or it's Russell. Because Russell was wearing Max's cloak and hat at that time. So it would have to be Russell who did it. I think.
correct? It's Russell or Acro. It's one of the two. I'm gonna go with Russell first. Yeah! I'm on a roll. I'm you know, backed up against the corner. I can do this.
Fool. Him?
You saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry? That's what I'm saying. It's the only reason that makes sense because, well, I'll let Phoenix explain it now. He's probably better off explaining it than I am.
I mean the victim himself, placed the cloak on the bust.
Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Yeah, that's the way I'd be describing it in terms of... I wouldn't say putting the cloak. He didn't put the cloak on, it's more... The cloak fell onto it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this?
I think I do, Maya. I'm finally putting the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, here goes nothing. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. We're gonna get story time with Nick. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached the rope to the bust, and then dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room, and then went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume, hence the cloak and hat. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night? Then, just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by Trillo and Ben. Yep. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. Then, he, you know, lowered that. Yep, he lowered it when Acro had the chance and released the rope. Yep, I'm with you so far. Now this is when the magic happens. I assume what happened is, because it's only a cloak, what happened is the impact forces Russell down, and I assume the cloak goes upwards and attaches to him. It's chance, but it would make sense. Thing is, if this hadn't had happened, Acro's a bit of an idiot. Because if this had happened, Mo would have saw it, and it just would have seen a bust of Max hit somebody, and Acro would probably be dead, be in deep doo doo. Now this is when the magic happens. Oh, do we get a thing of it? The very instant that the bust hit the victim. Well, there's probably my thumbnail for the episode, I guess, if I can't find a better one.
Just wait a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be.
It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. The circus isn't over yet.
What?
The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. Well, it makes sense. Otherwise, there would be the bust at otherwise there would be the cloak at the crime scene with the hat. That impact also caused a certain sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out of his window, the cloak had already been snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window. He just kept pulling the bust up. And so, it looks like it's hovering. And that's how the magical murder, disappearing into the sky, came to be. So, now you see the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could have only been you.
Acro's been playing mind games with all of us.
He sure has. But he has to come to the end of his rope somehow.
So,
What now?
you've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
No evidence? Really, Judge? Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter: the power of of evidence and the power of my whip.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick, they say they want evidence.
I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. There is still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
A contradiction, actually.
Okay then use that and get us out of this jam.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case.
Trying to think what Mo said. Hmm. Trying to think what Mo said. I would have liked a hint there to remember what Mo said. I remember what happened with Mo. What did Mo say? Mo basically said a very similar thing to Acro. He said he got up, he heard a massive thump when he got, and then he got up and then looked out the window. And then he saw the dude flying away. What would prove that? Right, okay, and here's what I'm thinking. Mo had to have saw the bust with the cloak on it. Meaning there must have been something there. There has to be something that proves that he saw the trick. He saw he saw it. The silk hat might be it because if the hat's not there, wait, did he see the hat? I don't know. This won't help. This might maybe help. It's got to be something to do with Max, because they want evidence that to prove it happened. The only way to prove it is actually find the bust, but he said, what does the bust look like again? It has the feather as well. Okay. I had to think about this. There's a lot of lives going on, a lot of life on the line, and I'm running out. Recall Mo's testimony. He saw the silk hat. I need to recall his testimony. He says he saw the silk hat. So I remember he saw the silk hat. Did he say he saw the silk hat? I don't know. It's one of those where it's okay. What did Mo's testimony say? I'm trying to recall his testimony because he said there's a contradiction in it. He heard a thump, then he got up.
He looked outside, and there was the dude standing there with the hat and the cloak. And then he floated away. What's the contradiction there? Because I think it's the hat. Because the hat makes no sense if it's Max. Because the hat... If the hat flies... Or if he saw the hat and the cloak fly away, but the hat was left at the crime scene, it means that that must have been the bus. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm going to go with the hat because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Am I right? Oh, thank God. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses? Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony. Were there 2? I only found 1. What's the other one?
The silk hat was one, and the white roses
Were the other? Okay, and what's the thing with the white roses? Because, what, because he couldn't see them? I can't explain that away. The hat's the one that's the easiest one to solve. That's why I went for it. The white roses make no sense to me. Ain't that? Ah, well, I'm trying to. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what you could use for the white roses, but I can't think of anything. Well, the theory I just presented explains all these contradictions. I'm on the right path anyway.
You fool, do you ever shut up?
Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified to the criminal. He testified that the criminal saw, fleeing the scene, he saw a silk hat. That's what I mean. This is the contradiction I think I found. Or I found. Because I found it, obviously I'm right. But continuing with the game. That the hat should be still there, but the hat was not there, so therefore it must be the bust. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the busts. Makes sense if you look at it that way. Then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction? I don't know about the white roses.
Remember what the ventriloquist said in court. He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match.
Maybe the cloak inverted? Or maybe it was from behind? Like we said it was? That would make sense, I guess? I have no idea.
The clown said there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick?
Can he? Okay. Of course I can explain all of it.
What was that?
Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, then what happened to the white roses? I don't get it. Do you get it yet? If the cloak snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Okay, and I'm so glad I got the hat one and not that, otherwise I would have been here forever. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. White roses were not visible because they were on the backside of the bust. I guess. Can I have a look at Max's thing for a minute to try and explain that to myself? I guess they are on the front of the cloak. But wouldn't that mean that the flowers are on the front? So wouldn't that mean they just hover over where the things were rather than be covered by them? I'm confused. Order. This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do it, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel.
I don't think she's throwing in the towel anytime soon. And neither does Acro.
Well, so much for that fairy.
Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it?
You took the time to research our circus, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did. Is there something you think that I didn't? Is there something making you think I didn't?
If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track.
Why is that?
Motive. The witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with relation to the circus is well aware of this.
Fair enough. Hi, Shugsy.
Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would want to kill the ringmaster.
That does make sense, actually. Hmm.
Your Honor, I'd like to hear Acro's story. Then learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro's deeply respected the ringmaster.
Well, I don't think Acro wanted to kill the ringmaster. I think he wanted to kill someone else. He clearly didn't like Regina. Makes sense to kill Regina rather than the ringmaster. And he did put that note in her pocket. Yeah. How many cases on average could have been prevented by cameras? Very true. Although they do start bringing in cameras in the later game and still explain them away. Like in the Mask to Mask case, which we'll play in the third game. Trials and Tribulations. It seems this case isn't over yet. Very well, however, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I need to go to the bathroom. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. Now I'm going to take my Dingling and go to the toilet. The court will take a 10-minute recess. Okay, and so we got somewhere, I guess. Do I get my points back, or do I have to earn them back again? I can't remember. I just don't want to be on thin ice. I can't believe it, Acro. It's pretty shocking, isn't it? Yeah, no, it is. I have to do the. I have to do the voice like this because he's gone to a scared voice when it breaks character. It definitely is, and I think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated?
Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose.
I believe he did, yes.
Hey, he did?
Psst, psst.
But, I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why.
Hey. Hey, pal. You gonna ignore me after you went after all this trouble to bring you some evidence?
Detective Gumshoe.
Yeah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, detective. I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? There's a couch there. Just park your keister and relax. Chill out.
We got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, detective?
Oh, well, if you insist.
Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it?
Here you go.
Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room.
Yep, it's included in the forensic results. Take a look at it later.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this?
Oh, she'll be steaming mad. Yeah, that's why this is all a secret.
Huh?
Look, details are on a need-to-know basis. And we're not really allies or anything, but everything that happened in court until now has just gone according to our plan.
I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yeah, it's always ketchup. It's never blood, it's always ketchup. Or some miscellaneous red liquid. That stains. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans? Ah, that reminds me. I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. That's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What did he mean by that, the very end part?
I'm not sure. It's all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Yeah. Oh, it's Maya.
Ah, don't scare me like that.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of strawberry jam. It could be jelly. It could be, I don't know, red food coloring. Who knows? Anything but blood. Yeah, it looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
What? For me?
Yeah, it's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy, so hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. Well, to be fair, if I could, I would drink a lot of milk. Wine, yeah, definitely. See the amount is endless. I'm more of a I don't drink very often, but I do prefer red wine to white wine. Tastes better.
Entire dairy's worth of milk for me?
It's just him with like I don't know how do they store milk? They store it in like did they store it in like a barrel, a cask, like what they do with alcohol, or how would you store? I don't know how you store milk. I don't know. We're getting off topic anyway. We're talking about weird red liquids and how to store milk. I'm just gonna go back into court. Oh yeah. By the way, I'm glad you're getting your new RAM. Just remember, I don't. This is a thing for people when they're doing the computer. It's it always depends on what your motherboard has, but make sure if you have 4 RAM slots, make sure you put them in the correct slots so that you get the right amount, or you get the best use of your RAM. Like, I think I have mine in slots 1 and 3 rather than 1 and 2. It's got something to do with how the RAM interacts with the motherboard. But you'll probably get that if you have an instruction manual on your motherboard. I can't go into detail about it because I'm not very clever and I'm not well versed in it. But I know it's got some... when you're putting your RAM in, yeah, you have 4 slots. What I remember is... Well, I remember the person who was helping me build my computer at the time was put your slots not in the same one. Like, don't just put them in 2 separate things. You can do. But I remember telling me as a rule to put them in like 1 and 3. Because apparently you get better use out of your RAM that way. I'm sure it'll tell you on your motherboard, on your, like an instruction manual for your motherboard, like I said. Anyway, enough of me giving positive hints. Let's get enough of me going on tangents. Let's just get into the court case. Sorry. Court is now back in session. I mean, if you wanted to have all 4 slots of RAM, I'd do that. It's more RAM. More powerful. Well, not that much more powerful, but hey, you've got the RAM, may as well use it. Unless, like, the RAM sticks are defective in some way. Miss Von Carver, please continue from where you left off. I could talk about computers for hours. I just can't verse it very well and talk about it very well because I'm not an expert on building or putting together a computer. I leave that to people who are far more better at explaining how computers work than me. All I know is I know how to put the bits together.
I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship with the victim. I would also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime.
Okay, I'm just gonna have a look at this. Bat scarf stained with blood and a small quantity of pepper. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay?
Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Okay, let's get it. Well, it's one of those. If you have the RAM, may as well use it. More RAM, more more goodness. It'd be like I think my motherboard has like 2 slots for I could potentially use 2 graphics cards if I wanted to. It has the slots for it. Like if I ever get a new graphics card, which is probably the next thing I'm going to change about it. I probably had yeah, I was just thinking about what graphics card I was going to get. I probably would keep my own graphics card to use both of them, especially when multitasking for stuff like I don't know if I can, but if I could ever use one graphics card for strictly playing the game and another graphics card for, trying to maybe do something like a render job or something like that. I don't know. I'm just spitballing at the moment. Maybe I could do something like that, but well, we'd have to see. Anyway, about the Ringmaster. It's not like my graphics card that I have is bad. It's just not, there's a... Put it this way, by now, it's old by comparison and I should upgrade it. Anyway,
When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
okay. You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro could kill the man he held in such esteem.
Yeah, my graphics card now is dated. I got my graphics card. I'm trying to think as long as I've had my computer, so that must have been about 6 years. I think I've had my graphics card, and I've never had any complaints about it. It's just the fact that 6 years, especially with by the time this was around the time the 1080 came out, I think. When the Nvidia, yeah, the 1080, and this was worse than the 1080. So now we're on the 480. I think we are the 480, 490. I haven't had a look at them. I'm definitely not buying one of them. They are extortionate prices, personally, for what at the moment. If I was going to get a new graphics card, I'd be probably looking at something like free. Sorry, not free. I'm talking about a 3000, free like a 36. 3080. Not a. There's 4 digits instead of 3. Oh, I just unplugged my phone. It's finished charging. You know what I mean? The 3070 Ti. That'd have been. I'd have to have a look at that. I was looking at the 3080 personally to improve on this one, But I'm saving up for other stuff as I keep saying, more important things. Anyway, we'll talk about stuff again. Let's get on with this. You're absolutely right. What? How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real reason for a cross-examination, is there? Excuse me, it is my right as an attorney to cross-examine the witness, and if I can cross-examine the witness, I will do so. So, middle finger guns. Actually, the question I'm trying to answer myself. Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? He wouldn't. He's trying to kill someone else. I've worked out this case, mostly. This might be my last chance to answer the question. I think I'll take upon cross-examining him. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness.
You're so tactless, Mr. Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive.
Yeah, it's one of those. I'm not really looking for an exceptional graphics card. I just want one that's better than this one because I know, like, we've had problems. I had problems playing with Edith Finch, and I think with a better graphics card, I could play that game. I didn't realize how strenuous it was on my system. But yeah, that's just the issue. It is an issue at hand. Well, like I said, I think graphics cards at the moment, in general, they cost, you know, they cost an arm and a leg. Even if you're getting an older, like say I'm getting the 30 series rather than a 40 series, they still cost an arm and a leg. It's ridiculous, the prices. Anyway, very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Do what you will, boy. Okay, when we were abandoned, we were little. We?
Yes, my brother Sean and I.
Wait, you have a brother?
How old were you when this happened? When this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old, and my brother was 4.
Your parents were very cruel, weren't they?
Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us. Because it's allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed.
He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. Oh!
No crying in court. Let's keep going.
The witness may proceed with his testimony. Oh, you only used, see, I never get through talking about, like, phone usage in terms of data. You're saying you got through 10 gig? I can never get through that much. Like, I don't use my phone a lot when, I don't play games on my phone when I'm out. The most I use my phone for when I'm outside, when I'm when I'm going outside, or, outside my home, or at work or something like that, is probably, like, for music. And because I have, I use, personally, for me, I use Spotify. For that reason, like, I save all my music and I just listen to it while I'm there, so I don't really need, or have the need to, use a lot of my data. I know some family members I have, they blast through, like, 20, 30 gigs, and I'm like, how? Fair enough, I guess, yeah. I guess streams and YouTube would take up a lot of, data. Right. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster?
He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had.
What about other people at the circus?
This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, and no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come to see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. And that's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help him. Or to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? I know, he seems like a nice guy, but which makes this so difficult to take.
So how long have you been a performer? Became an acrobat around 9. So you started off as an acrobat at an early age.
I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to
Holding back a burp. Stop myself.
to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dingling Berries. It's nearly a household name. I even heard of them in Germany.
Liar. Yes, I was born at a very young age.
The point is, I wanted to be some use to the circus.
You're truly a remarkable young man. Judge keeps looking at Acro as almost like a proud father. That smug-eating grin she has. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow!
How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of the witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about that, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard.
Ow! Can you stop whipping me? I mean, you know, if you want to arrange for a meeting where we can potentially do some whipping after hours, that'd be fine. But not now, not in court. I don't want people getting the wrong idea. Now, no matter how you look at it, there's no way I could ever see that this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor.
Nick, I hate to admit it, but I agree with him.
I was trying to chase down the truth, but he ended up just looking like a jerk. I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster lends me to believe that it's pretty unlikely.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Why are you wasting my time? Go ahead, Go ahead, Your Honor. I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead?
Yes, technically, but not him. Because the way I look at it, he doesn't want to kill the ringmaster. The only person who he has a vendetta against is Regina, and we know it because he has the note where he wanted Regina to go to where he wanted her to go towards the ringmaster's ring. So I'm going to say I can't provide one because he didn't have motive to prove wanted the ringmaster dead. If that makes sense. But he wanted Regina dead. Because I think the question is right. The question's wrong. You should be asking who we wanted to kill, not who was killed.
Nick?
Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven. We're asking the wrong questions here. That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all.
Ow!
Your foolish attempts to fool us foolish fools, us like foolish fools, is so foolhardily foolish.
Got it out eventually.
Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russell Berry, ringmaster.
If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things? Acro? You didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night.
What did you just say?
I'm saying that the target that of this witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. It was because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. Okay, Phoenix, you do not Phoenix, Shoxy, you do you. I'll be here with Phoenix.
What?
Hold on. Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face, twice if you must. Assault them all. I will call you innocent in court. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do in my court?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, what are you trying to do? In his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else?
That is exactly what I'm trying to believe. He was trying to kill you. No, he's trying to kill Regina.
Regina Berry?
This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro? You were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
And the retort? You could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, he has all the right to say you're wrong. That's it.
That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough, Mr. Wright, allow me to...
The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself.
Huh? And that goes for you too. Oh, sorry. Again, getting my people mixed up now.
And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence. Now.
Okay. So just clean chat for a second. Sometimes you get through the, sometimes you get like, what do you call it? Offers from people about, you know, do you want to buy bots and followers? You know, yeah, of course I want to do that. I'd love to buy people who are not invested, are fake, and, you know, I want to actually artificially inflate my numbers, because that's not going to help me in the long term, isn't it? Stupid. I don't know why people do that. I understand why. I guess you do it for, you want, you know, you're backing your, you're boosting your own numbers so it looks like there's more traction, I guess. But you're doing it in a false way so that real people are coming in. I guess that'd be the way you're doing it. I don't see the need to do it though. If people want to watch, they want to watch. That's how I look at it anyway. I just get annoyed when people put down like, I know YouTube and Rumble can't see this, but sometimes I do get off. You get like chats coming in about like, you want promotion on viewers, followers, like, you know, chat bots basically, so you can boost your numbers, which like I said, don't really care about. I don't see the need for. Anyway,
I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Send evidence that proves Acro is out to kill this young girl. Well, I'd produce the note because this proves that Acro was right, correct? Because it proves that he wanted to lead her there. I can't produce the cloth right away because the cloth has no connection. It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat. Inside the ringmaster's tail? Inside the victim's tailcoat? Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled To the Murderer. Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 PM. So you're saying he called Russell Berry with that note? Yes, but no. Yes, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro didn't intend to place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster.
You mean it wasn't for the...
Take a nice little drink? That's exactly what I mean. The person this note intended was none other than Regina Berry, or was for none other than Regina Berry. I can speak properly. Hold on. Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours. It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board.
That's when her father, I mean, the ringmaster, saw the note?
Spot on. The ringmaster ended up in that plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake instead of Regina. That's incredible. Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier? Oh, he's confident, he's slapping the paper. He's slapping the paper, he means business.
Lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd be falling out of the window myself.
Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of the window to see who it actually was. I've got it. Acro thought it was Regina in the plaza. Oh, cool, you've got more time. Hey, take more break than you have. Take the amount of break you're entitled to. Sometimes, I know some places, they don't, are potentially stingy with a break, so... take it all, baby. Take it all. I've got it. Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza. And that's when he let the bust fly.
Hey, Nick. Isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience?
She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here.
I hope Regina can handle it.
Well, she's got Mo beside her, so hopefully she's okay. Got his jokes, I guess. Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Foolishly foolish fool with a foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool.
Never mind. Tom Hardy, yeah. Tom Hardy fool. Don't know why I've got Tom Hardy on the brain. Good actor, though. Legend's a good film. He's okay as Bane. Trying to think of a third thing he's in that's pretty good. He's in Peaky Blinders, from what I know, that's good.
Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place.
Yes. What about that line?
Well, if the note was meant for Regina, it would mean that this note is declaring Regina and Barry a murderer.
You just don't get it, do you?
What? What did you just say?
The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza. In place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
Incident 6 months ago.
Oh, I know all about it. I've got all the answers to all your said questions. I am your genie. I am Robin Williams, granting all of your wishes come true. You only got to do is ask. Anyway, an incident occurred 6 months ago. Now I am more ready to show this court what happened at the time. Now I am more ready to show this court what happened at that time.
Moron.
Wait, are you sure that this relates to the present case? I believe it is. I believe it does, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago.
Really, Nick?
I don't know, but shut up, Maya. Confidence. Bluffing's everything.
Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in this note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is.
I can't answer that question. Sorry, yawning. I can't answer that question. The judge is going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence in this incident 6 months ago is actually the pepper, right? Because he had the pepper in the box, which would make sense, right? It's the pepper or it's the thingy, but it makes more sense to be the pepper, so I'm gonna go with the pepper first. Oh, bugger. True. Oh, wait, no. We did it. Got the right one. Cool. Sorry, I thought I was wrong because the music kept going and it was the thing was still on the screen. Usually an indicator of you're right or wrong. So the first thing I look for when I'm playing the game to see if I've got a contradiction right or not.
What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
It isn't a joke at all. It's decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright, so what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Berry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper? Nice. Go get that RAM boy. Stick it in your computer. Ram it in. Couldn't help myself. I apologize. I'm just gonna move on. Screw it. I made the dad joke. I'm not proud of it. Let's just move on. Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw.
Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim?
Bat. Right? Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the... Yeah. I forgot you were working. I apologize. Well, as long as it doesn't rain, and the person's put it not out in the open, you should have 2 lovely sticks of RAM when you get home. Who is this? This is Acro's younger brother.
What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead?
Yeah, but he does have brain damage to the point where he's, you know... He ain't gonna be doing any backflips anytime soon, put it that way. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina? She did that to him?
You spent your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool?
Yeah, every day. Well, I don't dream it, they just sort of happen. Anyway, naturally, the prosecution has looked into
Acro's brother, Sean Dingling.
Ah, that's good, as long as you've got good neighbours. Yeah, when the package delivers. Around here, we have nice neighbours, so when packages get delivered, we sort of just exchange them for, you know, just knock on when they get home. We have a nice little neighbor. I don't know about like other people because like our little neighborhood, our little cul-de-sac we have here is everyone seems to know each other fairly well. I know in other places, probably more public places, they don't know. They don't know each other as well. I like having that little like, you know, collection of people you can talk to around the neighborhood. Makes it feel like a little better. Because otherwise, if you didn't know each other, it'd just be very awkward.
6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
A lion?
Miss Regina Berry, is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
Currently outside for us, it's not storming. It's actually quite sunny. The one thing in Britain, yeah, how do you get hit by a lion into a coma? Magic, I guess. Well, it seems that what happens is he got bit by a lion, and I don't know, it pierced his brain, and then he because of that went into a coma. The brain does weird things when it's in a coma, or whenever it's like hit or hurt. We do not know enough about it. Yeah, we got rain last week as well, but to be like we didn't get like we didn't get a lot of the sun for some reason that in the last few weeks that people have been getting, like the intense heat that people have been getting here in Britain. Oh, anyway, so what happened to Aqua's brother?
He's not the victim of an attempted murder, so he's a victim of an accident.
I see.
Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident?
It was more than that. Oh, well, no, it was an accident. Technically, it was more than an accident, but it was an accident nonetheless. The lion biting Bat was no accident at all. Well, technically it was, yes. I didn't mean to say that, god damn it. Well, I'm about to get a penalization. What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There's no way Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being.
No, but there's a way she could do it. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro. I'm going to guess it's with the scarf. Now we do it? Sorry, I'm living on the edge here because now it's for all the coins. I don't want to save scum. I want to try and get through this as far as I can. I will save scum if I have to. But I want to do this in one continuous breath. Luckily, that's what we're doing. That's just a scarf. Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? Oh, he's angry now. That's right. So, who is the one who gave this scarf to Bat?
Regina. Regina gave it to him.
Regina? There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. And what might that be? Pepper. Pepper? Pepper. You know that thing you put on your... no. What do you put pepper on? Usually, I usually put pepper in soups to give it a little bit of... You know, that taste. Make it a bit more scrumptious. When Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with this silent treatment? Excuse me, Mr. Wright, but you seem to be talking absolute bullshit. You've done a good job fingering a criminal. Okay, calm down, Phoenix. Bit more... Phrasing, Judge, phrasing. Out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that? It still seems the judge doesn't quite get it.
Mr. Phoenix Wright? Wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling?
Right before Bat was bit with the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and looked like he was smiling.
Lions smile? I guess they can do.
I've never heard of them smiling, however.
Lions sneeze. I'm not going to do the W's. Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all that pepper on the scarf. What?
You fool!
You've got to be kidding me. What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object, for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, you, this fairy, you believe it? You really intend to say that this is how... that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened?
Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion squeezed due to the sneezed. Sorry, I thought we were talking about how it squeezed his head. You know, good old chomp down. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when the bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to the accident, or in this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina.
You foolish idiot. Huh.
Almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. You telling me that what I said was true? Just replacing my headphones?
Acro? You can't mean witness?
You confirming the defense's claim?
Mr. Wright? Unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder.
What do you mean by that?
Pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact there's an even bigger problem with your theory.
And what would that problem be?
The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves this claim?
Good point, actually. We didn't find it yet. You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or lack thereof, to be more precise.
Murder weapon? The bust the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, and it were covered in the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be.
The bust.
Nick, you gotta do something.
It's the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. Was it in Acro's room though? We didn't see it, so I guess we should see how things work out first. Because we would have, I think we would have found it if it was in Acro's room. Might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but
Why aren't you going to search his room? Looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you?
well, they would have found it.
Now you know the true meaning of Von Karma Total Justice.
I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You leave no stone unturned.
A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
And what did you find? I was going to say we would have found it, or they would have found it, because we were there first.
There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's butt.
Again. Phrasing. Oh well. It's a Freudian slip on my part, I guess.
Was not in the room.
We've gone from his bust to his butt.
The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright? The bust wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise, and we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that.
That's what I mean, we would have found it first, instead of them.
End of story.
Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this.
Looks like you lack the final nail to put into my coffin.
But, what about the scarf? What about the note?
What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now. Do something, Nick. Don't let this one slip away. The bust, where is it now?
Where the bust is right now? Well, he either got rid of it right after the murder, or what? He either got rid of it after the murder, or...
You're Phoenix Wright. You know where that bust is. I'm sure you do.
There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? In this case, it seems this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright.
I think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness. Come again? Is it Maya?
Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare it to present its case. Sorry, I was a bit nervous and just bit my tongue.
You need time to do what? Ow!
Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she?
You really have a case to present, Mr. Wright? Are you asking me?
Rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck.
Hey, wait. You can't be serious.
Acrobats always have their lives on the lines, right? Don't they? That's how Acro lived up his life up till now. It's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well, the defense may proceed.
He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon.
Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim. The only way is through. Only way through is forward, I should say.
The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now?
Okay, right. They would have searched the lodging house. Could he have gotten rid of it? No, because he can't throw it that far. There's no time for him to get rid of it. It can't be in the lodging house. The only thing I can think of is if Monkey got... The only reason I can think of him, the way he got it was, but Monkey doesn't take takes things that are shiny. He doesn't bring them back, so... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hang on, wait a minute. What does Acro... I don't know what Acro has. Because I don't know what he's wearing. I assume he's wearing... Oh, he's in a wheelchair. Can we see his legs? Is he wearing like a... I know like I know a few people who have like below the waist injuries who are in wheelchairs. Some of them do end up wearing like a, especially the older ones, like a cover or something like that. It can't be at the big top. It can't be, he's got no chance to do it. It has to be in the courtroom. That's the only reason that it has to be on him, I think. Because he couldn't have got rid of it, because money wouldn't have helped him because it's shiny, so he would have brought it back. And he couldn't have escaped that room, so it's not in his room because we've checked the room. I don't know. I think it's in the courtroom. I think he must have it on him somehow. But it's a pretty big bust, so I don't see how he could have it on him. It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom. It's obviously where? The witness stand. It has to be with him. Acro, I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take that blanket off your... He's hiding it under the blanket. Oh, I didn't even know he had a blanket on him. Whew.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright.
Well, you are a big guy, and you would have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. You made no reference to blanket or to a blanket, and you can't see a blanket. That's the only reason I went for... Okay, never mind. I'm not happy about the way this case has gone. The only reason I've said the courtroom is because he had to have had it on him because he couldn't have got rid of it at any time that we know about. From when the murder happened to after it, he couldn't have lost it, if that makes sense. Because he couldn't really throw it that far, and we would have found it otherwise. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it would be really easy to say hide a bust under oh, because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say hide a bust under there. Huh. K&C shock Z for the properly this time.
Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright.
Or penchant. I don't know. I think it's pretty amazing that you laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that that bust is under there. We all know you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proves inconvenient when Ms. Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she'd found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it in the only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why I'll ask you again. Would you please remove your blanket from your lap?
Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. You fool. How could you?
Can I see it, please? Please remove said blanket.
You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them.
Two of them?
Miss Francisca Von Karma and Phoenix Wright. What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try to hide the bust. And the only place I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now.
I believe that Von Karma fought that... I can't believe Von Karma fought that far ahead. It's amazing.
Aha, you definitely couldn't tell by looking at her.
I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me? Make a mistake? Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If I only hadn't done that.
It seems we've finally arrived at the truth. Acro,
Yes, Your Honor?
did you kill the ringmaster Russell Berry of Berry Big Circus?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime. Acro. All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way.
That's why she covered the scarf with pepper.
I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely. She would laugh innocently when saying it, too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried.
That's when you decided to do something about Regina.
How dreadful.
So are you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well?
No, that's not what I mean.
Oh, poor Acro. Well, not poor Acro, you are a murderer.
I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first, I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just throw up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet.
This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
I'm an idiot. I can't believe you beat me. Again.
I believe this case is now beyond any point of discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Whoop whoop! This court is adjourned. And I believe we are done. Oh well, apart from obviously this section. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this.
Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat? Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh?
That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only at max. 1,000,000 of them. Oh, I don't know what voice I put on then. Why, thank you. What's with the vibe in this room? There we go, got it back.
We're just thinking about Acro.
No, 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 no. You worry about people too much, you'll be like this forever and you'll never be happy.
Huh? Ah.
She's been like this for a while now.
What? It's all my fault. What?
Sweetie, sweetie pie.
Bat and Acro, they're never coming back.
Now everyone's gonna split up.
Regina.
Mr. Wright, tell me something. What do you want to know, Regina? Acro said something right at the end. Right at the end. So I should put on a higher voice for this one. I couldn't just up and leave yet. Does this mean that Acro, is he gonna try and get his revenge on me? No. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina. You sure? Are you really sure? Can believe that? Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. That's true, I want to see some evidence. Huh? I want to know that you're not just making stuff up about Acro wanting revenge. What do you want me to use? Is it bats? Bats the obvious one that would be useful. I guess that's the only thing I would do because that's the only thing I can think of. It's either the the pepper, I guess. No, that wouldn't make really sense. I guess bats. Bats the only one that makes sense because the only reason he'd say I'm not done yet is because he wants to see Bat. He wants to see Bat's okay before he goes. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. Bat? That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught. Uh-huh. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Till he opens his eyes and until he can meet Acro again. That's so sweet of you, Regina. Sorry, Acro. Sorry, Bat. Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind.
Hey, Max. What is it, Mo? We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? That's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone's sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision. And what is it? I've decided I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus this world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen? Don't laugh.
That's quite the goal. Yay, I can't wait.
Then I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means the circus needs the best magician in the world. The best magician the world has ever seen. Max? Let's work together and make the circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you.
Regina, are you gonna help them out too?
I don't know. Maybe this circus would be better off without me.
What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think I brought you to court today? We've got to work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been.
Mo.
Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't wait. Can't be the very big circus without Regina Berry.
Max? Nick?
Seems like everything is gonna turn out alright here.
I can't wait to go see the best circus in the world has ever seen.
We'll save you the most fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm gonna be ordering special whoopee cushion seats.
Nope, that's enough laughing as you're gonna get out of me.
I see. What made the case?
Yesterday's surprise raid, it really paid off just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you?
It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney.
You mean Mr. Wright?
Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back.
Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth.
He's not dead. Shock. And with that cliffhanger, we'll have to end it there.
So we've been going for about around 2.5 hours, which is usually my cut-off point. And obviously it's the end of a case, which is probably a better reason. So, for now, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. For people on Twitch, we're going to take a little break, but then we're going over to play some, or finish off Arkham City. But for people on YouTube and Rumble, all this will stream live on Twitch. If you want to watch live and interact, you are more than welcome to. There should be a link in the description to the Twitch channel. Or you know, any other platform you wish to watch me on, you know, do all those good things. If you want to give me any improvements, comment down below. Tell me things I could be improving on in any other way. I don't know. Please give me any no, what's the word I'm looking for? Constructive criticism. I'm welcome towards it. Without further ado, I'd like to thank you all for watching one final time, and bye-bye.